Hello again, everybody. Peter here with a question for you. Do you set goals? Well, if you do, I've got bad news for you. Goal setting is broken. I'm not kidding. It's broken. It doesn't work. And in fact, successful people don't set goals the way that we are traditionally taught to set them. They do something fundamentally different. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what successful people do to not only achieve, but sustain their high levels of success. And stay with me to the end, because I'm going to share with you the 6-part success formula used by successful people all over the world that you can start using right away. Let's get started. Successful people define success differently than most of the rest of the world. Successful people define success more along the lines of the definition put forth by Earl Nightingale, one of the fathers of the modern personal development movement. Now, Earl Nightingale defines success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So what does that mean? Well, let's break down the 2 key words. Progressive realization means it's ongoing. It's a step at a time along a lifelong path. Secondly, let's talk about worthy ideal. A worthy ideal is the big ideal, the big impact that we want to have on the world, the legacy that we want to leave, the big difference that we want to make. And successful people set goals within the framework of progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at 2 highly successful people, Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk. And we're going to look at how they put goal setting in its proper context by making it part of the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Let's start with Oprah Winfrey. Now, all of us just about know Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is known and loved by people all over the world. And she's also known for her vast accomplishments, including the Oprah Winfrey Show, which ran for more than 2 decades, and the Oprah Winfrey Network, which is currently still in operation. So Oprah Winfrey didn't start out early in her career with a goal to have a TV show that ran for decades and her own network. These things came later. What Oprah started out with was a worthy ideal, and that worthy ideal started with wanting to be of service to people. It evolved into wanting to serve people in a way that allowed them to be their authentic selves, and that put an understanding and accepting face on self-help. Thus the Oprah Winfrey Show. But long before the Oprah Winfrey Show happened, Oprah's worthy ideal led to a progressive series of steps, or in this case, we can call them progressive goals. Again, the goals being secondary to the overarching worthy ideal, and the goals almost automatically filling themselves in. So let's take a look at this in Oprah's life. Oprah, as many of us know, was born in abject poverty in the South in the United States, in the era of segregation. She was raised by maids who expected her to follow in their footsteps. Along the way, though, Oprah started developing that worthy ideal of wanting to be of service to people in a broader context than just being a maid or a servant. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We need maids and we need servants, but her worthy ideal was calling her to something beyond that, that was going to have a broader impact on humanity. Oprah ended up starting out on radio. Radio led to her being an anchor in the Baltimore area in the United States, in the state of Maryland. Oprah actually then, believe it or not, got demoted from the anchor spot. It seemed like it was a difficulty for her, a monkey wrench thrown into the works, but ended up on the morning show, which was called People Are Talking. As she honed her skills on that show as a morning TV show host, she caught the attention of producers of AM Chicago in the state of Illinois, Chicago, Illinois in the US. From there, that led to people noticing her and the Oprah Winfrey Show. As I mentioned earlier, that show ran for about 2.5 decades, which led to Oprah deciding to start her own network, which, by the way, was not a success in its infant stages and eventually became one. So as we unpack this, we can see that Oprah clearly had a worthy ideal, a lifetime worthy ideal that she started with. And the ideas on the next step to take, and the next step to take, and the next step to take occurred to her through her focus primarily on that worthy ideal. These ideas and opportunities of next steps came up, and those became goals that in many ways kind of filled themselves in as the next logical steps in succession to the achievement of her worthy ideal. She stuck with that worthy ideal, which is her North Star, and that worthy ideal continues to guide her to ongoing success. So that's a really good example of what a successful person does. Once again, starting with a worthy ideal and then allowing the goals to fill themselves in as steps along the path in succession for the progressive realization of that worthy ideal. And as a result, we have Oprah as one of the most successful people in the world. Let's take a look at another example, and that example involves Elon Musk. Now, most of you know who Elon Musk is. If you don't, well, a couple of things. One, he just surpassed Jeff Bezos of Amazon as the wealthiest man in the world. He's also the founder of Tesla, the Tesla Motor Company that makes wonderful high-performance electric cars. And he is also the founder of SpaceX, a private company that's dedicated to space exploration. Now, let's take that same formula of first having a worthy ideal and then letting the goals fill in as the progressive realization of that worthy ideal. Let's apply that to Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk, like Oprah, also came from humble beginnings. As he tells it, he was a fairly ordinary kid, not the most popular kid in the world. He tells stories of being teased and made fun of a bit by his peers. He also says that when he was a child, he started asking himself the question, why are we here? What are we on this planet Earth for? Why are we in these lives that we're in? And that was a question that he had for quite a long time as a child. Well, as he matured into adulthood, Elon Musk also identified his worthy ideal. And that worthy ideal for him was a positive future for humanity, where the consciousness of humanity is consistently growing and expanding, and where humanity also is exploring space and becomes a multi-planet species, including the colonization of Mars and beyond. So, wow, talk about a worthy ideal, and probably one that not many people, if anyone, have had before Elon Musk. So if success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, this same approach plays out with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk came up with that worthy ideal, the expansion of human consciousness, the evolution of human consciousness, and humans being a multi-planet species, and the goals tended to fill in for themselves. He got the ideas, the inspirations for the Tesla Motor Company. Very, very innovative, high performance with sustainable energy, which of course would be necessary for space exploration and colonization. He put the Tesla in space with a mannequin astronaut in it, still zooming around up there in space someplace. He then had another goal that filled in, which was the founding of SpaceX, the launching of the Falcon 1 rocket with SpaceX. And like Oprah, he had his ups and downs. He had his company that was on the verge of bankruptcy at one point. He had rocket launches that failed. He had deadlines that were missed. But that worthy ideal kept pulling him, and he continued with these progressive goals that occurred to him as ideas and stuck with them, realizing, whether it's conscious or not, that his success was all about the progressive realization through those goals toward that worthy ideal. And we have somebody again who has become one of the most successful individuals in the modern world and maybe in history. Oh, by the way, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe for more videos on how to create and sustain that wildly successful life that you really want to live. So, how do you apply this to your own life? Well, the trick is to start with a worthy ideal. Keep in mind that goal setting as we know it is broken. Why? Because we're starting at the level of goals and just picking targets here and there of what we think we want in the now or in the short term. You want to do what the successful people do. Start more broadly at a higher level with your worthy ideal. Ask yourself, what's the legacy that I want to leave? What's the impact that I want to have on the world, or at least my world, or at least the people around me in my world? What's my guiding North Star that I want to dedicate my life to? From there, it'll become very clear to you the steps to take for your progressive realization of your worthy ideal. And the steps that you take, that you intuit and take, will turn out to be your goals. So once they've established their worthy ideal, successful people take 6 key steps to continuously expand their success. Step 1, they act on their ideas. Once the worthy ideal has been established, ideas begin to occur to successful people. Those ideas are synonymous with the goals or the progressive steps toward the realization of that worthy ideal. The second thing successful people do is they act with faith. They maintain their faith, knowing that there's going to be some ups and some downs. They never lose sight of that North Star, where they want to go, and their ability to somehow get there. The third thing successful people do is they maintain courage. They take well-reasoned risks, and even when it looks like the chips may be down or the next step might be a little bit scary for them, they take that step anyway, maintaining courage. Step number 4 is that successful people keep a positive attitude. They have a way of looking at things so that they can find the positive in anything that happens to be going on around them in terms of the progressive realization of that worthy ideal. And they always find and accentuate the positive. The 5th step is successful people continuously tap into their imagination. They literally take time to sit down, clear their minds, let their imagination take over, and use their imagination to envision innovative ways to get to the goal that they really want to achieve. Again, the goal being part of that progressive realization of their worthy ideal. And finally, step 6, successful people always give maximum effort. They give 100% maximum effort in an ongoing fashion to the achievement of every step along the way, every goal that leads them to the progressive realization of their worthy ideal. So there you have it. That 6-step formula, once the worthy ideal has been established, is idea plus faith plus courage plus a positive attitude plus imagination plus maximum effort equals success. So thank you for being with me, everyone. If you liked this video, be sure to click the like button and be sure also to subscribe for more videos on how to create the wildly successful life that you really want to live. Also, be sure to click the notification button so that you'll be notified when new videos are available. I'm also very pleased that we've got just a few more openings for your success strategy sessions. The success strategy session takes about 1 hour, and in that session, you'll work with me to do 3 things. 1, we're going to get you super crystal clear on what your big goal is, your worthy ideal. Then from there, what we're going to do is to look at anything that may be blocking you or in your way. And we're going to create a strategy for you to get through those blocks and actually map out a path for you to get to that successful life that you really want, however you define that for yourself. It's a fun call, it's a free call, and you'll see the link to booking the call in the description of the video. So thanks again for being with me, everybody, and I'll see you next time in the next video.